William Brown generates from 500 to 600K a month in pure profit from his YouTube channel, which has 80,000 followers. And if you ask me about that, I think that's pretty crazy. And not so long ago, when I was watching his content, I got very freaking angry about it because as I was watching it, I was understanding what he's talking about, and I was like, where is the value in this video? Now, I'm not saying William Brown doesn't have value that he wants to share, but in his YouTube video, he was talking for like 20 minutes about you have to start and just, yeah, guys, let's do it. And like for 2 minutes, he was talking about exactly how to do something. So I was like, bro, like, what is the value right here? And like I just couldn't comprehend the idea of how can he generate 500,000 views talking for 20 minutes about people just have to start and 2 minutes about the actual value and the actual things to do in order to make money online and blah blah blah. And when I was doing this, I was like, man, I just can't comprehend it. After that day, I was like, okay, but still, it doesn't make sense. He's making more money than me, much more money than me. Then how can he, like, this has to work? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and find out why this works. So I sat down and studied exactly William Brown's strategy. And when I implemented this strategy into my brand, in 24 hours, I got a book call on my calendar and I closed the client. It's very simple because look, if you're getting 10 to 100 views per video, it's not your content that you're not allowing you to get booked calls. It's just one simple principle. And look, guys, we have to agree on something right here before I could get into actually explaining it. That we are both creating content on YouTube or any kind of platform in order for us to get some clients on the back end of it. Because we are providing value for the market, we are creating these videos. So we wish to get someone coming back to us like, hey, this was valuable, I want to work with you. This is our goal. Like, this is basically what we are trying to reach. And why this is important is because if you go and really study what he was doing, you are going to understand that the value is not what you create, the value is what the market takes. And what does this mean? If you think you're creating a very valuable content, you're like, oh my god, this was the best video I've ever created. It's not 100% true. It can be valuable from your perspective, but if the market doesn't want to take it in, it's not valuable. And as you have seen with William Brown, the market showed what he takes. One video got 500,000 views, so 800 or 500K views, and that video was 20 minutes yapping about, how you have to get started, and 2 minutes sharing exactly how to do it. So that shows that for that specific market, that is what the value is, because the value was represented in views back to William Brown. So what you give him, what you get. So this is what you have to understand, that you're not getting book calls on your calendar because what the value you are creating isn't what the market wants to take from you, or the market seems or deems to be value. And why this is important is because when I understood this, like fundamentally, I understood that I'm not able to create value out of thin air. I have to understand what the market needs and then align everything I do with that. And that is going to create value. I understood this principle, which finally allowed me to get a book call from my YouTube with less than 100 views. Like literally less than 100 views. After I implemented this, what I'm going to show you, I got a book call on my calendar. And what is this exactly? And this is increasing awareness. Now, what is increasing awareness? Increasing awareness is simply the first principle of teaching from my perspective. This is how I understand teaching. If you want to teach someone something, you have to increase awareness. Simple. So, right now, if let's say your knee hurts, it's bad for you, right? But if I say to you that your knee hurts because of X, Y, and Z problem, I increased your awareness, so you know why that problem exists. And now because I increased your awareness, you're gonna look for a solution for the specific problem because you know what's the problem. But because I increased your awareness, you're gonna seem or deem me as a person who provided value to you. And why this is important is because there is two ways you can provide or increase awareness. One is simply what I call the what, And the other is what I call the how. Now, what do I exactly mean by that? So, if you're right now a person who has some kind of problem, then what you're looking for as a solution or value in the market is how. So, very simple. What does that mean? Well, if your knee hurts and you know why your knee hurts, you're going to look for the specific solution that is going to allow you to solve that problem. And that is a how type of increasing awareness. You're looking for the exercises, the pills, the medicine, whatever it is to solve the problem. So you're not looking to understand what's the problem, you're looking to understand how to solve the problem. And this is the specific way we are used to providing value to the market. But this is not 100% sure that the best one. And why do I say this? Because me personally, I remember that I had my biggest breakthroughs and the biggest epiphanies when I was watching content when someone helped me increase my problem awareness. Now, what does this mean? Well, firstly, when I started watching business content and I stumbled upon Charlie Morgan and I was watching his exact videos, he talked about how psychology is important, to make more money. And he made me realize something much bigger than just systems and business. Psychology, I'm like, oh my days, this is so vast, so big. Like, this is just crazy. And that is what allowed me to have a better, bigger understanding of the entire, business. And for that reason, I still to this day take a look at Charlie Morgan with this, oh my God, who is this big person who can help me, get to my goal close easier. And why this is important? Because when you're creating your content, a lot of times it would be easier to get calls on your calendar if you would simply take your person or like your ICP who you want to create content to, understand where is he staying on the mental awareness game and increasing this person's awareness to understanding that they have more problems than they thought about. And if you do this correctly, these people are going to take a look at you that you are their hero. Because this is what happened to me. And this is where I booked my first call from my YouTube with less than 100 views. Literally less than 100 views. I had 93 views, and someone booked a call from my YouTube video. And why? Because I was talking about how if you're not succeeding with cold outreach, it's definitely not gonna be about you not being able to send good cold outreach, but it's much more about your psychology and your psyche and other stuff that is pulling you back from doing cold outreach correctly. And why this is really important is because I've given them value in the form of increasing their awareness about the problem. They were like, oh my God, I need the solution. And because I haven't given them the solution, I've given them the idea that there is a problem, that person was ready to buy the solution. And that's why these two types of increasing awareness is what I call the two types of content that you can create. And when you're creating these types of content, it has different goals. And the what type of content, when you're trying to increase people's awareness to understand the bigger problem, is really where you get the most fans and the most people, because you can go broader and increase the awareness as you're going inside. But the how type of content is really important for authority, because otherwise people are not gonna trust you. But if you implement these two things and you learn how to increase awareness by understanding what the value is for the market, I will promise you are never ever going to have a problem with booking calls from your YouTube content or any other content that you're creating online. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. There's a link down below to book a call with me if you're interested. I will see you in the next one.